Hi everyone, nobody asked me for this, but I decided to make a tutorial on how to add transparent parts to clothing. So you want your item to have transparent parts like this dress with the sheer sleeves, or this one with the sheer skirt. And it's not really difficult to add, and there are two ways of doing so. The difficult one and the easy one, but I prefer the difficult one because it's more versatile and can be applied to any mesh, so you won't need to worry about bones, cuts, and so on. Let's start from the difficult way. First things first, finish your mesh, make sure it doesn't have any issues, and you won't need to return to it later to fix some glitches. Trust me, after you add extra transparent parts, it will be tricky to fix problems, and doing everything beforehand will save your time and nerve cells. I'm working right now on this very short dress with a puffy skirt, and I want to add extra sheer layer above the skirt to make it look even more frilly and airy. So, to do that, I need to duplicate my skirt. And to avoid clipping, I need to make it a bit bigger. Something like that. Now we need to relocate its UV part to some free space in our texture. I took care of placing the texture for the upper layer beforehand, so I'll just move it here and adjust everything. If you've noticed, it's semi-transparent because I've changed the alpha layer. We will need it anyway, so I did it beforehand. To change the GEOM cut for our new mesh group. In my case, it will be 1, but if you have more than one cut, it can be, well, another number. Now, if we are happy with everything and I don't see any clipping or something like that, we can save it. Save the file, and now we need to open Sims 4 Studio. Okay, here's my package, and I've cloned the green chemise because it has one cut, and we need to add one more cut to it for our transparent part to work. You will need to import your Blender file to the package. I won't do it because I've already worked on this mesh, so I don't need it. But if you've just cloned some mesh in the Sims 4 Studio, you will need to do that. Now let's go to the warehouse tab, and let's find our load 0, the biggest geometry. Usually it has the biggest file size, so it must be this one. And well, you can basically see it in the 3D preview. Okay, so click on it and click duplicate. And here, don't change here anything. The type should be geometry. Here we need to change the last character in this line, in the group line. It can be a letter actually, but right now it is a number. So let's try 1. Okay, it worked. Sometimes if it does not work, try different numbers until, well, it basically works. So now let's go on our new geometry to the data tab and change its shader to sim class. And now we will also need to copy these values and save them somewhere safe, because we will need them later. Let me just do it. I'm going to save them in the notepad. Okay, so open the region map tab, this one, and go to edit items, then add a new entry. And here we need to change this number to the cut we gave to our new mesh group in the Blender file. In my case, it will be 1. Don't change the region type, it should be base. Now click this button, edit items. Make sure you stay on the new entry. Click on this button, add, and add those values here we copied earlier. Then click everywhere, save. Save here, save here. Now we need to add the new geometry to cast part. If you have more than one swatch, you will have to add it to each swatch manually, so it's better to do beforehand when you have only one swatch. So go to the cast part tab and scroll down until you find the lots. Here we go. Click here, edit items, and on the level 0, edit items here. And here again we need to click on add and paste here all our parameters which we saved earlier. Now we can click save here, and now we can import our Blender file again with the new cut, and it should appear properly in the Sims 4 Studio. Let's go to meshes, import mesh. Here is my mesh with the new cut. Okay, it appeared, so it works, and I'm going to replace the texture as well. So don't worry if it looks weird in Sims 4 Studio. In the game it should be fine. Now let's go to the game and check how it looks like. So as you can see, it works and it's sheer. It's not the final result. I'll do some adjustments to improve it. Right now it doesn't change the look of the dress much. If you wonder why it's so shiny, it's because my package doesn't have the specular map, and when I add it, it will be matte. So we are in Blender again. The dress looks fine if you look at it from the front, but if you look at it from below, it looks weird, and this part is completely invisible, and it will look like that in the game too. To fix this, duplicate the skirt again and flip the normals. Now it looks good. So just to mention, you will have to repeat all the steps we did before for load 0 if you want to add the transparent part to load 1 lot 2 and lot 3. Well, maybe it actually makes sense to add the transparent part only to lot 1, because lot 2 and lot 3 are used only when you move your camera very too far away, and I think it makes sense to keep them as low poly as possible. But if you want to add transparency to all the lots, well, you will have to do that like you did for lot 0. You will have to repeat every single step as I did earlier. So the easy way is to find a mesh to clone with extra parts. And I know one which is a perfect one for, short dresses with transparency. Let me just find it. And well, here it is. It has 4 cuts, and one of them is extra, which can be used for our dress, for our transparent parts. I'm going to save it. It has 4 cuts, and the legs here on this mesh are like separated, so we need to export the mesh. To take a look where they are cut. So basically here our mesh, and here are legs, and here our extra part which we'll use. It has cut 0002. So I think I'll just add these legs to my mesh. Okay, it's a bit shorter. I mean, the legs shorter than we need, but that's fine. We don't need this one. This one. Okay, I think I don't need this one either. This and this one. And I'm going to cut here to remove extra parts I don't need. And here we are. So we need to change GEOM numbers again. I remember that the transparent part is 2. The transparent part is 2. And 2, 3, 1, and 0. Now I'm going to save it as tutorial thingy. Let's just import our mesh. Okay, so here we are. It works already, but I need a new texture. So like that. I'll remove these things because we don't need them. And let's find our geometry with the dress, with a skirt, with a transparent skirt. Here our geometry, and I'm going to change the shader to seam glass, and this is basically it. I'm going to save it and check in the game. So here in the game, and as you can see, it's broken. It's broken not because I did something wrong, but because my mesh has some extra bones, which the mesh I cloned does not have. Probably something like that, or vice versa. I don't know really. I didn't check the source mesh bones. I don't know. It's fixable. Probably I would need to, transfer weights or to remove some weights. I know, I don't want to bother with it because, well, the first way works like a charm. I mean, take a look. So this is why I don't like this method. Of course, you can use another mesh to do the easier methods, but honestly, I don't think that the difficult one is that difficult. Once you get familiar with it, it's just easy peasy. So that's it for the tutorial. I hope you find it useful, and if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. And that's it. Hope you have an amazing day or an amazing night, and bye.